Hey everyone, Tin Man here with another gameplay video. Today we're playing Skycraggro. Current patch is 1.28, with Dusk Road being the most recent set. You can check out the deck check video for this as well. So here we got a hand that is kind of slow. We are going first. We've got good power, but we don't have a 1-drop, and these Permafrosts are not necessarily the best thing that we want to be doing. So let's try to redraw here. Although, if you kept that hand, and if you knew what your opponent was playing, that might be a more defensible keep. So it seems like we actually have a really good turn 2 champion of furry. Champion of furry. He's a pretty furry champion. Because we're going to play the Skycrag banner down. We've got plenty of every color. We generally need 2 red for Vadius and 2 blue for champion. And we're just going to have that right here on turn 2. So let's just get champion in there and get him in there immediately. So if he plays a blocker, we can obviously Cinder Yeti it down. He has a depleted land, so I don't think in his colors he has a way to deal with Champion of Fury right now. So we'll at least get one more attack in. And potentially more if his only removal spell is something like an Annihilate. If he doesn't have anything that we need to Cinder Yeti down, we'll probably just play Vadius. It's most likely the best option here. Let's just attack first. You generally want to attack before you play your other cards, just to force your opponent to make a decision before you have to kind of reveal your hand. We'll play Vadius, since obviously we wouldn't get any value out of Cinder Yeti here. And since we have all our colors sorted out, we want to hold the Fire Sigil in case we draw another Seat of Fury, so that it can come into play untapped as well. Looks like he has Avar's favor to pop the Aegis, which is not a huge deal. I think it's a little silly that he still gets to draw the Sigil, even though he hits a guy with Aegis. But that's a minor point, I guess. So it looks like we're up against a more control deck. Argenport control. I think we're just going to get him with both. There's no reason not to, I suppose. We do have to be slightly afraid of something like a Harsh Rule in a couple turns here. He probably will just have a spot removal spell, say a Hammer. I think is the most likely, an Auric Runehammer. So he would hit this guy, draws cards. We'd hit him for 3, which is really just 2, so you go to 8. I think in that regard, I'd rather play... Cinder Yeti pushes 1 more damage. I think that 1 damage might be relevant. This is like our best chance to get in the most amount of damage before he has Harsh Rule on turn 4. This line is slightly weak to something like a Stone Powder Alchemist. But if that's his play, if it's Stone Powder Alchemist is his play, I think he loses anyway. Here's the 14, and he takes 7. Okay, so he had the Runehammer, so we push the most damage by playing Cinder Yeti. And if we draw a single more burn spell, I think we just win. So he's at 11, he goes down to 5. He's at 1, essentially, if we just would Mortar him. No reason to do anything else here, though. We'll just let him have a Harsh Rule, and if he doesn't, we'll Mortar him at end turn. I would presume he has a Harsh Rule, though. Or something like a Throne Warden. Throne Warden would be a little bit annoying, because we can't actually profitably interact with that. So he does have the Harsh Rule. We're just going to Mortar him right now, just because it's mana efficient. If we wait till next turn, we're going to play our 2 guys, and then we don't have mana to Mortar. And we just top deck the Rockslide. How nice. So that's one of the huge advantages of this deck, is there's so many direct damage burn spells. And so we got the early aggression in, and we were able to finish out the game with burn. Nice. Now we get a bunch of rewards. Moved up a couple ranks. It's pretty sweet. Hit Primal level 14. Very nice, very nice. So there you saw a lot of the power of the deck. We didn't have a 1-drop even, but we were still able to get him dead right on turn 5. With a combination of direct damage and charge units. And you can see that the difference between playing Cinder Yeti and the Rakano Outlaw was not a huge difference. It was 1 extra point. But at this, when you're trying to kill them exactly, 1 extra point can make a big difference. So even though it was a slightly weaker line to something like a Stone Powder Alchemist, his exact play really made me think that he had Auric Runehammer. Looks like we're up against the number 3 ranked player. Nice pair up here. This is a bad hand. We only have 1 power. We need more than just 1 power. We are going first though, which is nice. So this hand's it's decent against aggro decks, and it's pretty darn bad against control decks. So we'll see what the matchup gives us here. It's bad against control because he can often just 1-for-1 these Oni Ronins, and then we got nothing. We have a Cinder Yeti on top of our deck, which is not where we want it. We wanted a couple cards under so we could have warped it in to essentially draw the extra card. Looks like we're up against Rakano, though. Or maybe he's Rakano control. That would be a little annoying. If he's like Fire, Justice, Shadow control, which is a pretty popular deck these days, we might be in for a rough time, especially with the way that our draws have lined up. Looks like he might just be straight Rakano. He is. Okay. So this hand is a little bit better against that, but unfortunately we still have drawn 5 power, which is a little too much. We'll hold off on the Rockslide for right now. I think it's better to just get Cinder Yeti in. Even though he probably wasn't going to block with this anyway, I'd rather just deploy the extra unit and then Rockslide whenever I remove a blocker so that I can get 2 guys in. For example, he might want to hold back Whirling Duo. Okay, well that's something I just want to trade with. I don't want to trade with that. So he holds back Whirling Duo. Ooh, really flooded here. Unfortunately, we redrew into a 4 power hand and drew 2 more. That's not a good combination. We'll attack him with both because we can Rockslide to finish off the Whirling Duo no matter who he blocks. Also, it's a little mechanically difficult to play Rockslide. It's kind of unclear when you're targeting something and when you're not. The little arrow switches color, if you noticed that. But generally, it's just you click on 2 things if you want to do 2, and you just click on 1 thing and then click, you know, no additional targets down here whenever you just want to deal 2 to a single thing. That was a good top deck. Very good top deck. Now, just hope he doesn't have Vanquish, and I think we can win this race. He's probably just going to slam dunk a Vanquish here, though. Interesting, he's running Granite Waystone. That's not a card I had really considered. Oh. Oh. That's an Eternal card, huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna pack that one right up. Yeah, so he got real lucky with getting the big war cries all going to an Unseen Commando, and he just managed to top deck at that turn, which very unfortunate. We can deal with Unseen Commando when it's a 2-3. You can just torch it. Even if it's a 3-4, you can mortar it. When it gets too much bigger than that, we're really in a bad spot. Like a real bad spot. So that's how that matchup sometimes goes. If we need to be faster than them so that they can't get those big war cries off. This hand is quite good. It's got a 1, a 2. I can't actually cast Vadius with this hand because it is double Primal and not double Fire. But overall, this is a pretty solid hand, especially going first. When you're going first, you really want to hit that 1 and 2 to keep the pressure going. He plays a depleted land, which doesn't actually tell me much. It could be a Stone Scar deck, like a Stone Scar aggro deck, rather. Obviously, it's a Stone Scar deck, but it might still be aggro, might be control. That's not really enough to tell. Both the aggro and control run the crests. Although I kind of disagree that you want the crest in the control version. Or, sorry, in the aggro version. Still doesn't tell us much. Annihilate's played in both versions. So that's unfortunate. We drew another thing that requires double red. We don't have double red. Generally, double red's more valuable than double primal. Double primal is only good for getting the second buff out of the Champion of Fury. Yeah, that was a nice little play for our opponent, so we can torch it for value. Somehow he doesn't have charge, which is still annoying because we don't have double red. Been a pretty big game if we could get a charge in there. So now the card I'm most afraid of in this matchup is Vicious Highwayman. He does not have double shadow yet, so I'm not quite afraid of it at this exact moment. Oni Ronin. Well, I guess I can attack him with everything, right? No matter how he wants to block, we got... Somebody's going to get through. And one of the keys in facing this Bandit Queen matchup is just to keep his board clear. Keep it clean, keep it clear, and he can't get much value out of Bandit Queen. Bandit Queen looks like a terrible card whenever you have no other units. It's just a 4-cost, 4-2 charge. So as long as we can force him to keep trading and keep spot removing our guys, as soon as we draw another fire, this game's going to spiral out of control for us. He now has double shadow, which kind of scares me for a Vicious Highwayman. And we've drawn 3 cards that require double fire, but nothing to play. So pretty darn unlucky here. Yeah. We really needed one that last turn. Now I think we're just going to lose the race, even if we get it. We don't even get it. That's really unlucky, I'll say. I'll chalk this game up to poor drawing. I mean, the keep initially was great. We really were controlling him well. If we just ever got to deploy one of these cards, we just win the game. But unfortunately, we never did. So that's a pretty unfortunate loss. But you can see the value of double fire, and maybe I should have been slightly more skeptical of keeping a hand that didn't have double fire. I still think it was a correct line to keep. I think that was a good hand to keep, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out for us. Overall, I like that matchup, especially the version that we're playing that has 4 Rockslides. Rockslide is huge against them. Alright, on to the next game. One power, that's not nearly enough. Let's redraw. Ideally, we want 3. We've got 2, but we got both colors. We don't have double red or even triple red yet, since we're going to have to probably get Primal with this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. Depends on what we draw. We might want to get another fire. We'll see. Against 3-color control of some sort. Seems most likely. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to grab another Primal. I'll definitely attack in, and I guess I didn't follow my own advice. I should have attacked in before playing Sigil, but whatever. Those are super minor points. I think he was going to block regardless of what happened. Right, Chancellor Seraph. Okay. Card's quite big. Quite a big roadblock in our way. If we do draw another power, though, we can just hit it with a Mortar, which wouldn't be the worst. Ooh, this card's really good against us. We didn't grab a Shogun Scepter, which helps us to let this guy attack, since it has Quick Draw and all the Warcry. If it tries to block something, I just Quick Draw it down, and the other one doesn't kill it. Still, we want to just draw a couple more Fire Sigils. That would be an ideal case for this game. Oh, Rune Hammer. That's not good. And that's a power. I wish it was an undepleted power. That's like the only one in our deck that was depleted here. And you can see how much it's hurting us that we don't have a power available right now. We could have torched and then attacked in, so we wouldn't even get that thing dead. Yeah, or sorry, Mortar rather than torch. Now he gets to be on the offensive, which is going to be unfortunate. But I was about to say, if we do draw power, another, like, just spamming Drakes in the air might get us there. I got to admit, I'm kind of afraid of playing the Fearless Yeti. I'm quite fearful of the Fearless Yeti. Mainly because I just want to be mortaring. I want to mortar down Knight Chancellor. And I feel like if I play this, he just kills it with a Vanquish or something, and then we're in trouble. I do think I'll try to trade off here. He's obviously going to take the trade. That's fine. And then we'll mortar and clear his board. I guess I'll just mortar it now. There's no reason to let him have that stick around. Unless he has a protect here. He has a fast spell of some sort. Maybe it's an annihilate. Because he has a single shadow influence? Oh, Dark Return. Alright, well, if he has the annihilate, then that sucks. But if he doesn't, this will be, this can race. This can race for sure, because I'll hit him for 10 next turn, and then I've got a Mortar for 4 extra. So he's essentially at 15, so I need to hit 3 times with the dragon from now on. Makto. Okay. Makto will trade with 1, and if we get lucky and he misses, if he doesn't revenge right away... If he revenges right away, I think we just lose to getting unlucky. But if he doesn't, we can probably get there in... Not next swing. He has an Echo card. He hasn't played anything that gives Echo, right? Hopefully it's just like a Seek the Way. Clockroach? Okay. Ooh, Permafrost. So I hit him for 5, and then I hit him for 5 and 4 next turn. So right now I want to play my other cards. Or actually, I could just hit him for 8. No, it doesn't actually change the math. So I think I'm just going to play Fearless Yeti, Shogun Scepter, right? And then so next turn I can Permafrost a flying blocker and Mortar him. So I want to Shogun Scepter this guy to play around any extra life total he may gain from Stone Powder Alchemist. And so now even if he gets Alchemist or Makto, I can deal with it. And now I've got some blockers on the ground, so I won't die to an attack. So Makto we can deal with the Permafrost. And then kill him. So now we can cast both Permafrost and Mortar. And he's got to be hesitant of attacking, because otherwise, you know, we could Alpha Strike back, but he probably thinks he got lucky with the Makto, but we can deal with it. We're ready to deal with that. Just got to see what else he drew. He's got 9 power on board, so I'm kind of inclined to block a little bit if he attacks. Okay, he doesn't. So I think we just Permafrost Makto and kill him? No, wait. We just Mortar Torch him. Is there any way this goes wrong? I don't think so. Like, Protect is the only thing, but Protect saves him either way. So what if he does have Protect? He probably protects the Torch. I should probably run out the Torch first. Mortar? Okay. So now I probably hold back, and then next turn Permafrost the Makto and win. I think I have to hold back. Desert Marshal. Okay. Sure. Interesting. So that was a really good draw for him. So he might be able to get out of this. Depends on how aggressive he gets and how good this Permafrost could be. Or what we top deck. Because remember, we have 1 death trigger on these guys. So I might have another charge unit coming in. Or we could just draw another burn spell, which would tip the odds right into our favor. This is a situation where Morning Star would be pretty good, because giving this guy Overwhelm would be pretty sweet. Annihilate. Ah, shit. Well, maybe he gets overly aggressive here. We'll see what he does. If he attacks with anybody else, he's not. Okay. Pyroknight has charge. Play this, freeze this thing, attack with everything. He blocks here, here, here. His beneficial block, so I have to, hang on. If he blocks the 3/3 on the 2/1, This there. Or I guess this over here. Takes 3 that way. So he can't do that block. He has to block here and here. Take 2. Block, block. And they all trade. Okay, so play Pyroknight, Permafrost, the Night Chancellor. He has to chump block, or he has to trade everything. And then I get a Scout and he's at 1. I guess it's our best line. Oh no, he's dead. He's dead. Because this guy has Overwhelm. He can't actually benefit. Oh my god, we actually got him. I thought he would get to 1 and we have a Scout. I forgot this guy had Overwhelm. He's exactly dead. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, Exactsies due to Overwhelm. The Fearless Yeti coming in clutch. Okay, actually the Pyroknight with charge came in clutch here. He can't get out of this. You can't do it, buddy. You're dead no matter how you slice it. I've done the math. Yep, he realizes it too. Just doesn't make a block. Whew, close one. Very close one. We got real lucky he never found his Stone Powder Alchemist. But he had really good draws as well. With the Protect plus the Silence. Steady Marshal. Alright, let's play one more. And then that'll wrap up this deck tech. Or this gameplay. Associated with the deck tech. These games so often come down to calculating out that last 1 or 2 points of damage. It's intense. I really enjoy that though. I love being able to, you know, always push out that last point. You know, no life total is really safe against this deck. You can always just top deck a bunch of burn and burn them right down. And it's very fast too. It's very fast and consistent. Certainly faster than something like Rakano or some of the other token strategies I've advocated for in the past. Those decks may have higher upside. They may be stronger as the game goes on. They produce larger units. They produce lifesteal or what have you. But this deck is much more consistently threatening to kill you on turn 4 or 5 every game. We don't have a 1-drop. We kind of only have these 2 Shogun Scepters, which if he manages to kill the Fearless Yeti, this hand is really unplayable, so we'll just redraw it. Hopefully we hit a 1 and a 2-drop. This hand is not very good either. This is, quite frankly, one of the worst hands we've seen. We've got plenty of power no matter what color you want. I guess we want a bit more red. We want to have triple red for a dragon, should we find him. And we want to play a red out first so that we could potentially torch it in turn, which we want to torch that. I only do that because we also have a Permafrost. Permafrost would obviously not hit this guy because he has Endurance. And I do want to have removal spells available for something like Whirling Duo or Unseen Commando out of Rakano. Those are very important cards you need to consider. Sword of Akari is a big beating here. Mainly because now we don't have a thing to put our Shogun Scepter on. That was our whole play. So unfortunately we just have to pass back. It's not looking good. Well, if he doesn't actually have anything else, maybe. So we can just Vadius and Permafrost this thing. Now we've got a Mortar to deal with his lifelink threat. But he doesn't have double green, which means he can't play Unseen Commando until he finds it. And there he found it. But there we can deal with it with Mortar. Let's just Mortar this thing. Well, I guess we can attack in first. I don't know. He might accidentally chump block. Give him the chance to make the mistake if it's absolutely free. If there's a chance that generally you don't try to force them to make a mistake if there's no mistake to be made. What I mean by that is, like, if they could potentially, you know, make a good play and you're just like hoping they mess up, you generally give them the credit that they're not going to completely mess up. But when it's free like that, why not make them prove they're not an idiot. We look like an idiot though without our Permafrost. Oh boy. We don't have a great way of dealing with this. I guess we just have to go wide. Just a Shogun Scepter, Oni Ronin. If we drop like a burn spell, then we can profitably attack into that guy with the 5/3. But until we do, we don't have a good way of dealing with huge units. We just had double vanquish? Ugh. Oof, this is rough. The one shining grace we have is that we're at 9, not 8, so we don't need to block this turn. But it's not quite enough. Yeah, so this deck definitely struggles with large units that, you know, especially ones that have endurance, right? We don't have good ways of getting rid of things that have endurance. We just have Permafrost for large units. And now we do actually have to trump because he got +1. And, you know, perhaps that's where Polymorph comes into play. And we can't even tap down his guys to attack through it. So something like Polymorph or Obliterate wouldn't be great here, but against other things it could be good. So unfortunately we did lose here, but I hope that gave you a better understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of this deck and how you can tune it to fit whatever meta you may be playing in. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. You can check out the deck tech video linked below. You can check out my stream at twitch.tv/tinman354 to check out more gameplay from this and other awesome Eternal decks. Thanks for watching.